Hello everybody on YouTube. It's Xalidn here, the Magician Master 100, known as the Master of all Spellcasters. Well then, it's been a while since I talked anything about Kingdom Hearts, or done anything Kingdom Hearts related on this channel. So, I wanted to talk about the recent trailer from E3, Kingdom Hearts 3. And of course, some good news. I've heard from the other Kingdom Hearts fanatics, like myself, the gamer joint, the Gamers Joint. I'll leave that link in the description down below. Please check him out. He's a really cool guy. And Sora Alam 1. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name, dude, if you happen to be watching this video. Yeah, but I'll leave your link in the description down below to your channel as well. But anyway, it's just been announced that next month, on August 11th, that there will be a new Kingdom Hearts trailer. Another new trailer, and of course, they're possibly going to be revealing another world from Kingdom Hearts 3. And boy, there is so much to talk about in Kingdom Hearts 3 that in recent interviews that there was going to be upgrades to the Keyblades. That's right, upgrades, which it does explain a lot. When you notice when Sora, has different Keyblades, if you look very closely, Sora has different Keyblades every time he uses these new abilities. For example, when he turns one of his the one Keyblade into two handguns, and of course then combine them into a big giant bazooka, or the other Keyblade that happens to turn into a Pegasus and a chariot. It's probably stating that it's showing that the Keyblades could be upgraded. And what I'm going to do is, as soon as I play Kingdom Hearts 3, I am definitely, as soon as I get a Keyblade, I'm going to upgrade it to its maximum level. Because the reason why is because, well, when it comes down to the Keyblade, or to having certain things like certain creatures, or basically in most the kind of video games I play, I like to level them up to its maximum, because it makes me feel like that I've fully upgraded the character or whatever I have to upgrade, so I can make sure that no matter what would happen, I probably would win, or I probably have to try harder, or I probably need to think of a new strategy if I happen to win or lose. So, I'm probably going to be upgrading all the Keyblades I use, to make sure that in case if I need a particular Keyblade to potentially beat a boss that requires that specific Keyblade, I will be prepared. So, also, the Tangled world. Now, I wasn't expecting a Tangled world because the fact that I didn't think there was much of a villain there. But now that I think about it more, well, they kind of did that same thing with Cinderella. The stepmother may have not seemed like the baddest of villains. Okay, maybe she was featured on Nostalgia Critics. Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. But anyway, she was featured on Nostalgia Critics' top 11 Disney villains. So, yeah. And of course, it did show that the darkness within her heart caused her to create a unverse. Well, it would have been a Heartless technically, but she probably helped create an unverse, but of course it also backfired, which of course it was showing off screen a little. But anyway, it's very interesting, really, that they're going to include Tangled in the world. Now, in Gamers Joint's theory, that the animator, I forgot his name, I think he's the animator of Tangled and most other Disney movies, he mentioned about Big Hero 6 and possibly Treasure Planet in the Kingdom Hearts 3. Now, that is a very good thought, actually. And I also thought of the supporting team for the Big Hero 6. Now, some of you are probably going to think, well, it's obviously Baymax, but I've kind of thought of this for Baymax. Like, have him start out as a healer, because the fact that in the original movie, Big Hero 6, now a little bit of spoilers coming up, so you might as well mute me a little right here if you want to avoid spoilers. But if you're all in, then alright. That Baymax was supposed to be originally a nurse, basically to help, heal people, or to help people out. That was his main job. Now, I think he could start out as a healer, and of course, some of you are also thinking, well, yeah, he could be a great healer and a great power. That's another thing. I'm also thinking they're probably going to do similar to what they did back at Mulan, with Mulan starting out as Ping and then becoming Mulan. To make sure that the storyline fits pretty well, I think what they're going to probably do is probably start Baymax out in his other form before he gains the upgrades that they have been having back in Big Hero 6. But the downside of him being the healer look is probably going to be that he's probably going to have a very low defense, even probably lower than Donald, because if you notice that Baymax, is kind of like a balloon almost. So he's going to obviously have low defense. He may be a really good healer, but at the same time, he's going to probably have very low defense because his body structure is almost like a balloon almost. So he's going to be easily, taken, defeated, or going to obviously get easily killed. More kill times than Donald. But as soon as the main character has the upgrade, then he'll become a strength boost wise, but not be a healer anymore because, well, I know I know in the movie that he still had that, helping chip that caused him to only, help people. But at the same time, I think it'd be more, well, how can I put this? Not balanced, but it's just a thought in storyline that he might end up losing the healing ability just to make sure that he becomes the strength boost, is what I'm saying. And it would probably be a pretty, really unique idea if I say so myself. As for Treasure Planet, I'm still thinking who could be a good supporting, or it's obviously the main character. I forgot his name. It's been a very long time since I watched Treasure Planet. But I'm wondering what he could possibly do as a supporter in Kingdom Hearts 3. It would be a very cool idea, especially, being on that surfboard gliding thing. That would be really amazing. But the other thing I really would love to see in Kingdom Hearts 3 is that I really would love to see Port Royal come back. I want to see Port Royal come back because it could really suit the Kingdom Hearts storyline because Davy Jones' heart is in that chest and he has no heart. And Master Xehanort could possibly use, Davy Jones as a pawn. And I think he'd be a really great boss fight. And also the Kraken 2 could be a really, really good boss fight. Now this person I met, I forgot his name. I feel bad that I forgot his name. But we met a little while ago at my local card shop. We talked about Kingdom Hearts a lot. But he also mentioned that what the boss fight could possibly be like is probably like similar to Sly 3, Unmarked Thieves, where you're facing Crusher, who seems to be like the Kraken except shoots fireballs, which I don't know how that's possible. It's a video game. Yeah, I'm probably not going to go too deeply into it. But however, the thing about Crusher is basically you had to shoot his tentacles. And also there's another moment where he actually literally grabs the ship with his tentacles and you had to whack the tentacles to force the suction cups to stay on. And of course, as soon as that Crusher was trying to come in and pull the suction cups back off, you had a chance to hit, shoot him with the cannons. But there's another moment where the Panda King had to shoot the tentacles to prevent Crusher from sinking the ships. So basically there could be a good, boss fight between them. Basically the Kraken is going to try to sink the ship by pulling it down. So basically you try to have to whack the tentacles with your Keyblade to force the tentacles off. It's a pretty good idea and thought. But I want to see what you guys and girls think of this idea I thought for Davy Jones in the boss fight. If, of course, I'm going to bring back, Sly 3 Under Monk Thieves. Notice that it's Sly 3 and Kingdom Hearts 3. Huh. Anyway, the idea I have for the boss fight with Davy Jones is, notice that, when both Jack Sparrow and Davy Jones was, sword fighting on top of that pillar, similar to when Penelope was facing Lafui, which it wasn't really that much of a great boss fight. All it was is you just pressing particular buttons at the right timing just to make sure that you knock Lafui off and to the water. It's really not that much of a boss fight. To be honest, I was expecting an actual boss fight where he has actual health. You actually have to figure out how you were going to smack him and all that, etc. Not just like be standing on top of a pillar and just pressing a particular button and all that. But anyway, they could possibly take advantage of the motion controls on the PS4, basically keeping the PS4 balanced, so make sure his sword can stay balanced, so he can sword fight Davy Jones. But then I think about it now is that, what are they going to do for the PS1? Actually, not PS1, excuse me. I'm going to say Xbox One. How is that going to work for the Xbox One? Does Xbox... I don't know much about Xbox 360 or Xbox One. Do the Xbox One have motion control? If it does, can you let me know in the comment section down below, either way, if it does or does not. But I just had that thought for the PS4 motion control. But whatever Kingdom Hearts 3 does for the fight between Davy Jones, I hope it's awesome, and hope it's not going to be a big kick in the balls, just like it was with Judge Frollo and the Dream Eater Fruit Bat, the Wargoyle. Yeah, I will say that was one of the most disappointing boss fights. But I also just got this other thought, which I had this thought for a little while, but now that it reminds me of this other idea for another world. What if they had Pocahontas? Now, some of you are probably thinking, who's going to be the antagonist? Well, obviously that Spanish guy. I forgot his name, but anyway, I think that his hatred and his greed towards the Indians could be a great, way for him to turn into a Heartless. That could be possibly a great way to do it. And Xehanort could also be possibly using him as a pawn as well. And I think not Mulan, I almost said Mulan, I meant to say Pocahontas could be a great magic supporter, with the whole Colors of the Wind and all of that. It's a thought I had. But do you have any ideas what Pocahontas could be? Let me know in the comments. Is there any more ideas or thoughts I can think of for Kingdom Hearts 3? Well, all we know is they also showed signs that Flow Motion could come back. We also know that the Heartless seem to be, supporting each other back at what looks like it possibly be the Hercules world. It's like, as soon as one of them, or all of them, seems to be, like, blowing on a horn, they all gather together and look like they're going to charge at you, and then you got to get behind Goofy to defend yourself against that attack. So, that does seem like a pretty unique idea, actually. But I'm wondering, what other ideas are going to include for Tangled. The idea for Tangled that my coworker had, she mentioned that the Keyblade you're going to possibly get is possibly like a parody, funny version, being like basically a frying pan, because basically what the main character, I forgot her name, I'm sorry, I can't believe I forgot. Oh, Rapunzel, now I just remember. Rapunzel had a frying pan for a weapon, and that, the Keyblade that you possibly receive is possibly a parody, like, frying pan thing. And it also gave me this idea right now. Now that I think about it, it just gave me this idea what, Rapunzel could be as a supporting character. Maybe she could be a healer. Now, bear with me on this. Bear with me. She could be a healer because of her hair's power. because since her powers has to do with healing, and also giving the mother her youth, what if she could be a good healer? It's just a thought. Just a thought. Maybe like she has an ability where she can be, be a healer. Which obviously she's probably going to, how she's going to look is probably going to have the, hair braided to make sure it's going to be easier for her to walk. Because, could you imagine Sora, Donald, and Goofy, having Elsa, excuse me, not Elsa, I meant to say Rapunzel walking, her hair is leaving a trail and all that. It's gonna, cause a problem and all that. Could you imagine that? So, yeah. That's the announcement slash idea slash somewhat vlog on the Kingdom Hearts 3. So, tell me what you guys think of Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer, recent trailer, and also tell me what you got, guys and girls, of course, can't not forget the girls, think of my ideas, and my coworkers' ideas, and the gaming joint, and Solomon Elm 1. Well, I don't know if I mentioned his ideas, but if I have, or if I have, okay then. But if I haven't, sorry dude, if I haven't mentioned anything about you. But do you guys and girls have any ideas for Kingdom Hearts 3? Leave a comment down below. So I'll catch you guys next time, where I'll probably talk about Kingdom Hearts 3's trailer from August 11th. See ya.